Another important thing when trying to excel in the music business with your music is making sure that the quality of your music is up to par with those that are already winning awards and you hear on the radio and already doing big things. A way to make your music sound great is to mix and master it. And if you don't know what that means, we have Fabian, who's a 5-time Grammy award-winning mixing, mastering engineer. He's worked with everybody from Justin Bieber to Britney Spears to Gunna, Meek Mill, anybody across the gamut. You've probably heard this guy's work. So if you want to know how to make your music sound great, then you're going to learn right here at this video. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
All right.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course. Thank you for doing this and helping the people get familiar.
No doubt, man. Get familiar.
All right. So now, a new artist. They're making music. There's a lot of things that people don't understand about making their music sound great.
Sure.
And I want to understand how crucial this is.
It is, man. It is.
And I think you're going to get them familiar with how crucial it is,
For
right?
sure, man.
So I make a song. I think it's great, right? I want to get it on the radio. I want to put it on the streaming platforms.
Right.
What is the first thing I should do when I have a record done to make sure that it meets the quality of those that are already killing it?
Right.
In the
Yeah.
music business?
Well, you know, it starts with your recording. You know what I mean? Like the first, we're talking about mix and mastering, but before that, you know, like when I mix a record, and I mix 500 records a year. You know what I'm saying? Every single day I'm mixing 2 records. You know, literally.
Yeah.
Every day. You know, and it starts with like your recording. So when you're at home, you're in a studio, wherever you go, you want to walk in the room, you want to, you know, snap your fingers, you want it to be dead. You know what I mean? When I say dead, I'm talking about no, you know, reflections. You know, like if you walk in, perfect example, you walk in your bathroom, you know, you feel the echo when you're in there.
Right.
When you're singing in
The
the shower,
reverb, yeah.
when you're singing in the shower, you sound, everybody sounds great in the shower, right? You know what I'm saying? But the reason for that is it's got the reverb, the echoes and stuff that's going on in there. You want to have a solid, dead recording that sounds really good. That's step number 1 for you as an artist. You know what I mean?
So step number 1, just to make sure, step number 1, when recording.
Before mixing, before any of that stuff, the recording is super important.
So if you're someone at home in your bedroom or you have a makeshift studio, the first thing you want to do is make sure there's nothing in there that the sound can bounce off of.
You want to go in your mother's linen closet. You want to get all the blankets out of there. You want to put them over the window. You want to put them in the corner, and you could play with it. It's intriguing. It's like, you know, it's intimidating when you see these big studios and all this stuff. It's not that hard.
Right.
It's common. Use some common sense. Like, listen, if the wall's drywall, and you clap your hand in your room and you hear it back, there's an echo in there. That's not good for your recording.
One of the things I used to do, and I mean, you can co-sign this or not, but if it helps you guys, I used to use my mattress.
Yeah.
I would put up my mattress and pillows, and I put the mic in the corner so it's like this.
Exactly.
And just so there's no sound.
You want it to be as dead as possible. So when you're recording, when I say dead, I'm talking about you don't want any reflections. You want to hear your voice. You don't want to hear the room.
Right.
All you want to hear is your voice. Right. So later on, when you get to the mixing, which we'll get into, when you get to the mixing step, you want it to be able to you want to be able to add that stuff then. Right. You know, you want to have all the control in the world.
Of it,
Later on, you want to be able to do whatever you want. Be it if you want to put it make it sound like you're in a huge arena, that's cool. If you want to make it sound smaller, you could do all that stuff. You want to have the option later on. Right. That's the most important thing when you're recording your stuff. There's 2 most important things. Sorry, they run together. That, and you don't want it to be distorted. Right. Now, when I say distortion, I'm trying to think like, people, I mean, a simple way, if somebody's your musician out here that's watching this, when you put on a guitar and when the guitar goes from sounding clean to sounding like like it's going through aluminum foil, that's distortion. You can hear that on your vocals too. So if you're hearing that, simple thing to do is turn down the input. Right. You don't ever want distortion. It's always bad in the recording process. Right. We add it in mixing sometimes to give it, it's a feel thing. But those are your 2 very important things. You want dead sound where it's just hearing yourself, and you want no distortion. Right. Those are the 2 key things, and anything can be created from that.
So those are the beginning things when recording. We haven't got to mix and master.
We haven't even got to that point.
So now, suppose I'm an artist that wants to use auto-tune. Okay. Do the same rules apply?
Oh, absolutely. Well, absolutely, because auto-tune is added after the fact. Right. It's never. I mean, some people record through it. Everybody's got their own thing, and you'll find what works for you. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of people want to hear it while they're recording. A lot of people don't. But even beyond that, the most important thing before that is the quality of the recording, regardless auto-tune or not, because the same factors apply. If you have a bunch of echoes and you hear your room versus your voice, the auto-tune picks that up and it gets crazy. It starts doing like, if you ever put auto-tune in your voice, you see it going like this. something's wrong.
Right.
It could be the rumble that's going on. It could be a million things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yep.
Sometimes it's cool, but it's not. It's never cool on purpose. You know what I mean? It just ends up like sometimes it happens. You know what I mean? So when you put the auto tune on, you want to have the cleanest signal, and you don't want it to be distorted.
Right.
And then then you could add your auto tune, then like, I wouldn't even call that mixing. That's more of a pre-production. That's more of a production thing. But as you're recording, you put it on, you hear what it sounds like, you record the next part, things like that. Yeah.
So now you're trying to develop your own home studio or your own way to record yourself, maybe in your bedroom, right?
Sure.
What would you recommend is one of the best mics? Now, mind you, I'm someone that doesn't have that much money.
Right. Sure.
I'm a new artist.
Right. You're trying to get it going, man.
I can't go buy a $10,000. What is a standard mic that's good for a new artist trying to make it and make their music be the same quality as an established artist? What kind of microphone would you advise?
You know what?
Use?
There's nowadays there's actually so many companies that are modeling these vintage microphones. One of them is called Slate Digital. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but Slate Digital is a company. They're based in California too. They have, you buy the capsule, and you buy the microphone and a mic pre. It all comes together. And then it gives you like a thing that goes in your computer, like comes up on your screen. What's called a plug-in, but it comes up on your screen, and you could model the $10,000 C800 microphone, the $25,000 251 microphone. It's got all the mics in there, and I'll tell you what, close your eyes. Listen.
Really?
Listen, bro. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And by the way, there's no maintenance. There's no tube that you got to change every year on the Sony. That
so you're saying, just to be clear, you're not buying a physical mic?
You're buying it comes with a mic.
Okay.
But it's a modeler. You know what I'm saying? So it's all part of one thing. So the mic is a very clean, same thing you probably get. I think it costs like $400 for the whole thing.
The whole thing's $300.
Yeah. And you get your mic. You get the cable that goes into it's called a mic preamp, which gives you gain to record into. And then when you go into your computer, which we'll get into, the programs, when you go in there, you select which mic you want it to be. And you could literally be talking in the microphone, flipping through and listening to all these vintage microphones.
So $400 will get you a plethora of different microphones.
Every microphone that we, and I say we as like somebody that's 25 years doing this, have chased after, have used. We've used it on Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've used it on Pavarotti, the biggest opera singer in history. You know what I mean?
Right.
Carlos Santana, Britney Spears. Every microphone we've used on them is modeled in this thing. And it sounds amazing. Like, it blows your mind. So and I'm not endorsed by them, by the way.
So
it blows your mind.
We're here to help people, right? Yeah. So the name of this $400...
It's Slate Digital is the company.
Slate, S-L-A-T-E.
Digital is the company that makes it. And then you look in there and it's... I could look up the name real quick. I don't know the exact name of it.
Slate Digital.
Slate Digital is, yeah. We could probably cut that out. I'm sorry. I'm giving you guys extra work.
Good.
No, but yeah, Slate Digital microphone modeler, and it's got all of them in there. And that's a great, I would recommend that to anybody.
Yep.
Get your money up to get that. And that puts you in the game in a serious way.
Now where people can record themselves at their home and make their own studios, buy something like the Slate Digital, so they have all the mics in the world at their fingertips. Do you think that people need to still go to big studios and spend hundreds of dollars an hour, or can they make just as good music in their bedroom?
You know what? It's there goes an argument there, right? You know what I mean? And that's a big thing in the industry. Somebody like me, I've been doing it so long. I come from the times when we needed to have that.
Right.
You know what I mean? The technology wasn't there yet. We used to go to tape.
Yeah.
Who could afford $1 million tape machine? You know what I mean? And then the thing to go through it. So yeah, you used to have to go to them studios for that. Now, you'd be surprised more. If I had to put a number on, a number value, right? 85% of my clients, which is, if you look at the Billboard charts, is a good, 35%, 40% of it.
Yep.
They're recording it on their laptop, on the go, whatever hotel room they're in, which means you can do it too.
Yeah.
Which means that, any artist can do it. Spend some time. It's all about just being hungry and understanding that you're a student. I'm a student still.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my thing, what I would say would be, you get the microphone, play with it.
Right.
There's no right or wrong.
Right.
As long as there's the two wrongs I told you earlier. No distortion.
Right.
And I just want to hear you. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear that room. I just want to hear you, and I don't want it to be distorted.
Right.
Anything else can be fixed as we get into mixing. So anybody could do it. Play with it. All right. Oh man, it's distorted. Okay. Well, now let me turn it down a little bit.
Right.
There's two knobs. It's in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Let me turn it down. Okay. All right. Well, now I don't feel as strong. All right. Let me move closer to the mic. Let me move away from the mic.
Yeah.
It's just playing with it till you get that. Anybody could do it.
Right.
To answer your question, anybody could do it.
Right.
Can you do it on the same level that I do it on? Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
It just takes time of learning. Like it's not wake up tomorrow. What's that thing? 10,000 hours, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, it's not wake up tomorrow and do it, but anybody can do it. It's not rock. We're not building a bomb. You know what I mean?
What do you think the cost would be for a new artist if they wanted to make their own home studio to record themselves and make quality music that's at a standard to put out?
Yeah. Well,
because think about, what do you need, a laptop?
You need your laptop. You need the microphone thing we're speaking about. You'll need, I would say, Pro Tools. You know, some people use Logic. Some people use GarageBand that comes with your computer. Right. You'd be surprised. I get a lot of sessions that we got to import and convert from GarageBand.
Right.
But if you want to be on the level and you want to be compatible, because the ultimate goal is, I mean, I would think for everybody is we want to get out there. You want to be the next, you know, Lil Wayne. You want to be the next Gunna. You want to be the next Future. You know, these are the people you want to be. So to compete with that, you want to learn Pro Tools. You want to have you want to have it where it's compatible. Where when you finally do get it to a point where you could send it to somebody like me, where you get signed to a record label, you want it to be translated. Yeah. And when I say translated, I mean like a lot of times now, I'll get a song. You know, people get scared, and we'll get into mixing now, right? People get scared when they send a song to get mixed because like, oh, it came back different, it changed a little bit, the vibe's not there. More times than not, it's because they didn't have the right tools to begin with to send it to me.
Right.
So by the time I converted it, I figured out how to get it into Pro Tools where I could mix it professionally. Right. It lost something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So your goal would be to start where you want to finish. That's how I do with everything in life. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to start there. I want to see where I'm going. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you want to have Pro Tools because you don't want to lose something in the middle trying to convert it. Mm-hmm. So I would say you get your laptop. They're around. You can find them on Craigslist. You can find them on eBay. $300-400. Right. And that'll get you something that'll work good. Right. You got your mic pre. Yep. You got the mic that we were talked about. Yep. Your Pro Tools. They have the really cool thing that a lot of these companies are doing now is subscriptions. Right. So you pay for a month, and instead of going and spending $5,000 on something, you could pay $25 a month. You know what I mean? And then it's cool. And then listen, if you're not recording that month, your subscription ends, you pick it up next month. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal, you know? So, I would say if we had to put a number on it, by the time you get, some decent speakers, some nice headphones, because you're going to want to hear yourself and you're going to want them professional headphones. Yeah. You don't want, my opinion is, you don't want to have the consumer ones. Right. You don't want ones that Beats by Dre are awesome. Bose are awesome. But Beats by Dre, there's a bad example because they make studio versions, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when the consumer ones, they're going to mask your sound because that's what they're made for. They're made to boost the bottom end. They're made to boost things that aren't really there. Right. It's a consumer thing. You want to listen to it loud. It's like, having way too many subwoofers in your car. You know what I mean? It's like it's a vibe thing. It's not real sound. So you want to get yourself some professional headphones, monitors, and there's a million.
What are some professional headphones that you'd recommend?
Sennheiser makes really great. There's a good company. I think the 620s are the ones I use. That's a very clean flat. When I say flat, it doesn't add anything in an EQ spectrum. Like basically, when you're listening to it, it doesn't make it more boomy than it is. It doesn't. It's not tricking you. You're hearing what's there.
It's real sound.
It's real sound. What it is. That's what's there. You know what I mean? Yep. And then for speakers, I would say, I use Amphion's, it's a company from Sweden. It's really high end things. But they have their smaller versions that come with it. You're going to maybe talk $1,200 with an amp.
You're talking about for monitors.
Yeah, for monitor. Yeah, these are your speakers now. But there's a million. You can go to your pawn shop. There's a million things there. You're going to want as long as you got your headphones that are true. Yeah. And I'm talking about a home situation. Right. You're going to want speakers. You can go to the pawn shop and get yourself some nice things with a subwoofer. You can get whatever you want to bang out and play it afterwards. Right. But you want to have something that's true. Mm-hmm. Which would be your headphones. Or if you could afford them, get some Amphion's. KRK makes really nice self-powered. You don't need an amp for them. Yep. And there's Genelec. There's a million companies that make them.
Speakers.
Speakers I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's where your money could go crazy on that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to want to get your plugins. You're going to basic stuff. You need an EQ. You need a compressor.
Explain what a plugin is for someone that doesn't know.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So now all right. We've gotten our recording into the Pro Tools now. Right,
so let's backtrack. We might be overwhelmed.
Yeah, sorry. Right? Yeah, we're going fast. I'm sorry.
If you're starting a home studio, right, you want to get a laptop. You want to get a mic.
A mic pre.
And some headphones.
Right.
maybe you're in a place where you can't play speakers.
Right.
So the headphones can be good enough.
Exactly, they can be, sure.
So you can mix in there, but make sure you want to get non-consumer headphones. You want to get studio professional headphones.
Exactly.
So you can hear the music how it's really meant to be heard.
Exactly.
So you know what you're actually mixing.
100%.
So that's your start.
Right.
And that's around...
We're talking maybe 3,000 on a top end.
Right.
You could probably do it cheaper if you search around, find some stuff used.
Right.
You could probably get it around 1,500. Depends on, you know, you got to be crafty. I mean, we all are, man. Listen, I search Craigslist still. You know what I'm saying? And I, you know, it's like I'm always looking for a deal. You could look around. Maybe you could spend $1,000. You know, it depends. If you look around, you might come up. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's around.
So you got all these things. Now the next thing you're talking about are plugins.
Plugins, right?
For those that don't know what plugins are, explain what a plugin is.
All right. So plugin is now we've got our clean recording into the Pro Tools, right?
From a dead room.
From a dead room, no distortion.
Right.
Now that it's in there, you're going to want to manipulate it. When I say manipulate, I'm talking about it might sound a little muffled. You want to brighten it up. You want to add some reverb to it. And when I say reverb is like, go walk in your bathroom and sing, and you're going to hear the echo off the wall.
Reverb is an effect that makes your voice sound different.
It makes your voice sound big.
Hallway.
Exactly. Hallway, church. If you walk into an auditorium and yell, that's reverb. That's what you're hearing. Right. So you want to add that to it. And those things, when you're in a computer world, they're called plugins. Right. All right. So you have EQs, you have dynamics, which are considered. So an EQ adds to the sonics of it. Like it would be turning. Like if you're in your car, you turn up the treble, you turn up the bass. You got two knobs in the car. When you're in the studio realm, you've got a million different options of it. But it's the same concept. It's treble and bass. When you're in your car, that's what an EQ is. When you go in your parents' car, even you turn up the bass, turn up the treble, you're EQing the sound.
Right.
So that's what an EQ is. Then you have dynamics, which is compressors, their gates, there's de-essing, and all these things are, this is the next level now. You know what I mean? So it's like when you want to compress.
These are things that you got to figure out while you're messing around.
Exactly, you're going to play with it.
So we don't have to break down every single knob on a mixer.
Right, exactly. All right.
So you got the plugins in your laptop, and that's how you can manipulate things, get new sounds, make things sound different.
Play with it, learn your thing.
Those are what plugins are.
Those are plugins, right?
Those are definitely necessary if you want to, sound like how everybody else sounds
exactly.
right now. Or not how they sound, but be on the quality level.
But how they sound sonically is the right way to say it.
Speaking of sonically, we're in a day and age now where recently distorted kicks came into the mix. And that must have hurt your ears as a professional mixer.
Drives me crazy.
What are they doing? But it's a style, it's a vibe.
It's a style, it's a thing.
Right? It's a style.
Yeah.
So how does is that an accident? Are people doing it on purpose now?
All right, so here's my thing. It's always been, there's been some we were talking about how easy is it to do, how much work does it take to get to become an engineer on the level? You know what I'm saying? Or a producer on the level. When I say on the level, I'm talking about out there, on the charts, on the radio, things like that.
Winning 5 Grammys.
Right, the whole 9 yards, right? So it's for me, it took years, right? But now technology's changed a lot. Things happen quicker. New sounds are coming, new artists are coming. Everybody's got access. Yep. I'm sure you're teaching them how to get their songs to different, radio to the whole streaming and all that stuff. Yeah. So you think about that now. When years ago it used to take an entire team, right? It still probably does in a sense, but not like it used to be. Right. You need you need your record label, you need the radio team, you need the right studio, this stuff. Yeah. Now a lot of this stuff comes out so much quicker that when I started hearing these things, I realized that it was on accident.
Yeah.
It was somebody that didn't really know yet.
Right.
That but it became popular, so you know what? It's right.
Right. Right.
But for somebody for me, it's no, it's not. But it has to be right because it's a hit record.
Which begs the question. When I ask a professional like you, for someone that's watching that might say, "Well, what do you mean? My music does sound good enough. It sounds just like that."
Right.
Just like that could be bad in your eyes.
Right. It definitely is.
It sounds like something bad that's good.
My thing is always this. It's as simple as this. And you might look at it as biased because this is my business, and I'm very I'm
protective.
I'm protective, and I was aggressive to get here. You know what I mean? I killed myself to get here. You know what I mean? But my thing is always, and it's been proven though. So it's it's not opinion; it's proven. A hit record is a hit record, no matter what. It's gonna go. But a hit record that sounds great is a whole other level, and it's gonna stay.
Right.
It's gonna go, and it's gonna stay. Listen to Adele, right?
Yeah.
She puts out these records. They sound phenomenal, and it's a hit record. They stay. There's something about the respect and the balance and the whole thing that catches the public person. It catches everybody.
Right.
You know, a younger guy, girl might hear it, something that, and it's distorted and this and that. They don't know. They're not feeling the difference. They just like the song, man.
It's
Man,
the vibe.
it's Drake. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Drake. Whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you break it down, you want it to cross all the boundaries, right? You know, you want everybody to buy it. You want it to get on the Disney thing. You want it to be synced on a commercial. You want it to be this and that. Those records that are doing that are the ones that are sounding the next level. You know what I'm saying? And they stick around longer. You know what I mean?
So that's the importance of a mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
The importance of a mix.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And then, you know, if you want to get into mixing now? You want to talk about it more?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
That's
right.
what they want to know about mixing.
All right.
So what exactly is the mixing process of a record, and why is it necessary?
Okay, all right. So we've got the recording now, right? That's that. We're past that point. It's in our computer.
And you even help them understand how to make their own home studio setup.
Right, exactly. Boom. They're rolling, man.
You're giving them more information, right?
Listen, get all the blankets, get all the towel, do it up, man. Do it. So now we're to the next step, which is mixing, right? So the song is done. And when I say it's done, you have your beat in there in your Pro Tools. You recorded your vocals. You recorded your backgrounds. You know, you got all your elements are recorded.
Yep.
The production part is done now.
Yep.
Now it's time to mix it. So mixing is the art. It's a mixture of tech and art. You know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely an art to it, but it's science. You want everything to have a place. You want to be able to hear everything that the lyricist is saying, singing, rapping. You want to hear everything.
Yep.
You also want to hear everything that's going on in the music too. So, listen, everybody, a great vocal is awesome, but I'm not dancing. Who wants to dance to a vocal? You know what I'm saying? Like
an acapella.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like picture like the 50s and 60s. You know, the doo-wop stuff. They're not dancing to the acapella. They're looking in their girl's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, totally. but when you all right. So what do I want to dance to? I want to dance to the drums. The drums is the rhythm. That's what makes me want to go.
Yeah.
So when you're mixing, the importance of it is you want to have the bass so it rattles so much that your drink falls off the thing, or you're in the car and you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're in your car and the bass is rattling, you can't hear the vocals, right?
Right.
If it's not mixed properly.
Right.
So now, all right. So where's the balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the drums are great. The bass is awesome. The drums, the snares cracking. You got the backbeat. The rhythm's going. That's the basis of the song. Now it's like, okay, cool. Now we got to add the musical elements in. So now it's like, all right, well, where's the guitar going to sit? Okay, let's put it here. Oh no, it's the same frequencies as a vocal. Guitar and a vocal are the same frequencies. Yeah. And when I say, when I'm talking about, I'm assuming that we know what frequencies are, but if we don't, it's like, if you ever listen to a rock song and then try to sing along with it, your voice is in the same range of frequencies that a guitar is. Yeah. So, all right, so now we have to mix it to make you be able to hear the guitar, what the guitar is doing, and the vocals, and then we're going to put a string in there, and we're going to put some keyboards in there. So the art of mixing is making sure that everything is there that is heard and felt, and everything's got its place. Right. Nothing's too loud, nothing's too low. It's everything's got its own space, and it's sitting nicely. Yeah. That's what mixing is to a T. So you get down, you're coming from an element of, let's say 25 things in a song, right? You got your vocals, your drums, all different musical elements.
And the kick and the snare and the hi-hat are all different elements.
That's all different elements. Then you're mixing it down to 2. And when I say 2, I'm talking about left and right. Yep. That's all you have. When you're done mixing, you got your stereo mix. Sometimes mono for different formats or surround sound, but let's just talk about stereo. This is music. Stereo mix left and right. So you got everything from there, and you're bringing it down to left and right, and you're going to sit there and you're going to be able to listen to it. And a great thing to do as you're mixing your own records is listen to songs you like. Yeah. Listen to popular music, but not just one that's out. Listen to a range of things. Right. I still listen. I don't speak a word of Spanish. I listen to old Spanish records to catch a vibe, to understand different instruments. Yeah. Listen to classical music to learn certain things about it. Listen to rock music. And then listen to the hardcore rap, listen and put it all together. That's what's kind of made me my career. You know what I mean? Like, so somebody else that's coming up and wanting to learn how to mix their own music, always have your references. Right. 10 of them. Right. So not 1 or 2.
So compare your music to what's already worked.
Right.
Or what's working. To see if you can play it right next to it. And
exactly.
If it flows well.
Exactly. Right. Sonically. And I'm not telling you to conform to their
totally
to their production or their thing, but I'm telling you from a sonic standpoint, it's very important, especially in today's age. We're talking about the world is playlists, right?
Right.
You know this. I mean, you want to be, your goal is to get on these playlists, right? You want to be able to sit next to everybody. You don't want to be the song that everybody's got to turn up. Right. And then the next song comes on. Oh my God, why is it so? You know what I mean? Like I gotta, like, oh my God, it sounds so different.
Like A Milli by Lil Wayne.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
Every DJ, as soon as like the beat came on,
exactly. Because it was so hard. Right. So you want your stuff to be like, you want your stuff to be able to sit there, and you do that by saying, by listening and comparing and learning, and it's a constant thing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's a very important step because, like I was saying earlier, it's been proven time and time again. A hit song is always going to be a hit song. It's always about the melody and people's something that touches them, happen in their life that makes
chord
them love
progression,
that song. Whatever it is, it connected to people, right?
Right.
But a hit song that sounds great does a whole different thing, and it sticks around for a long time.